It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm David Stroud, here with Scooter Scott Callies.
Whoop, whoop.
How are you?
I'm good today.
I'm good today. It's a good Thursday.
It is. It's a little chillier still.
I know, right?
Kind of
had to wear the hoodie
shocking
again.
right now, but it is. It is a little chilly today. It's going to be a beautiful day, though.
You know,
I mean, it's supposed to be like 65 and beautiful, so I'll take it.
But the cold is all your fault.
Remember
your prediction at the beginning of the month we were talking about, and I said, "No, it's going to be beautiful. We're just warm weather. We might see a little cold spell," but you were like, "No."
Now we got a couple more frost nights, and we did. Last 2 nights, we've had frost. I think we're still under frost advisory right now, but
isn't that something? End of March.
But it's going to get better.
It is.
And we go into temperatures. This is going to be one beautiful weekend. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for that coming up. Are you going camping again?
Not this weekend.
Oh, man.
I should.
It's a beautiful weekend
I know, right?
You just hook it up to your buggy and go right over.
Exactly. It just, for one night, though, it's kind of not a lot of work. Carla did all the work. So
good job,
Carla. Wasn't
Isn't that now that's,
except for getting back to the house, emptying it, putting everything away. I did help do that.
All right. When you look at them doing all the work, all right, so at home, when you're grilling, you know, do you like to use the grill and grill some stuff? All right. You do probably most of the grilling.
Yes.
Okay. But if you're like me, the wife went to the store and purchased everything. Mm-hmm. My wife gets everything ready. Mm-hmm. All right, hands me the meat. I throw it on the grill and grill it, and I get all the credit.
Exactly.
This is great.
The cook always gets the credit, right?
Even though she did 90% of the work, all I did is flip them over. But I'll take it.
That is true. She did do 90% of the work. So I guess for one night, honey, you want to go ahead and get everything ready to begin?
For one night?
Get it all set up. It was fun, though, to do it, at least, you know, our first night, maiden voyage. And, you know, you always forget something when you first start. So we got to get a checklist going.
Yeah. Have your camping checklist so that you know, hey, we're going to grab the checklist, make sure we got everything, and there you go.
Yeah. Then
like the right shoes.
Luckily, there's a DG on every corner in this world. So she was able to just run to the DG. We needed tongs and, I mean, a couple other things, nothing serious. But, 5 minutes away is a DG everywhere you look. So.
And from where you guys were at, it's not that far to run in and grab something, though, from where you were camping. So
no, there's just one right up the road on 5. Well, I mean, you got to go.
There in Salesville.
Past, What, on the left
so
as
you
just
go
past
camping.
Yeah, so it's not far.
You may go camping.
Yeah.
Never know.
I guess we'll find out. If she's watching the show, she's probably already like, oh, you want to? Oh, okay.
All right, we'll go camping. Let me start my checklist.
Yeah, booking the spot. That's first. That's first on
book
the checklist.
Start and then start building the checklist.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need.
Yeah. And you need to go ahead now that you got the camper done and you're ready to roll. You need to go ahead and get your checklist done, get everything. Yeah. So then when you want to go, I used to keep I still got them totes. With all my extra utensils and stuff, and that way we can just grab them, throw it in. It's got all my utensils. I don't have to worry about missing anything.
Well, she's got this big tote that's about yay high, but it's like this long, you know, about so wide, and it's full of arts and craft stuff. And that's exactly what you need. You could have plates and cups and utensils.
Everything in one.
One thing. And then in our tiny camper, it's got that area where your first step with that underneath the bed is where you can slide it in and put everything. So we just need to do that. We just need to fill it up, slide it in, and then that way we won't need to go to the DG for utensils.
Glad I can help.
I know, right?
Glad I can help.
He's always on the job.
My wife would love to go back to camping. We used to have fifth wheels and travel trailers, and she kind of really kind of wanting to go back into that. She's not big of a tent camper. Yes, I know. She's not a big tent camper. I like tenting it, but she doesn't. So
I'm done with tent camping.
She's more of glamping than camping. So
I like that 8-inch memory foam we've got inside that.
There you go.
You know, instead of instead of the air mattress that you never can find one you can use more than, let's say, 3 times before they start leaking. And they're guaranteed not to leak.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But if you're camping out in the cold or something like that, the last thing you want is an air bed.
Yeah.
It takes the ground coolness out of the ground, and just for long your air bed will be ice cold, and you're better off just sleeping on the ground.
Cannon ended up being ice cold. He ended up in the camper. All 3 of us fit, so it worked. So we have 4 little air matches. Better make this quick. 4 single ones. Mm-hmm. We had the queen, full, whatever it is. Yeah. But 2 people, if it loses air, you're into each other. So we got the singles. You can still be next to each other, but you have your own in case something happens. Well, 2 of them we found were leaking the last time we used them, so I threw them on the kayaks. The other 2, I put them up on the shelf where the air pump is, and these are good, those are not. But I hadn't told Carla. She grabbed the one on the kayak, so Cannon ended up, it was almost flat, but you're right, he got extremely cold that night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
We got to start show. We got to get to rolling. You're using up time.
Exactly. Every time. Scooter just on and on and on. Hospice of the Ozarks. Since 1979, they believe that every individual is unique, special, and worthy of quality end-of-life care. Hospice matters. The end of life deserves as much beauty, care, and respect as the beginning. They're still a non-for-profit 501c3. There has never been a charge to a patient or their families for hospice care, and this commitment remains a part of their mission. We'll pause now for the morning prayer. Dear Lord, please watch over those that lost their lives in the bridge collapse. Watch over the families, put your hand on their shoulder, try to comfort them as much as possible when a death is so sudden. It's just the hardest thing in the world when we lose a loved one. Please watch over them. And as always, watch over our children, our first responders, and our military, those that put themselves in harm's way for our freedoms. And this I pray, amen.
Amen.
Hospice of the Ozarks. Give them a call, 870-508-1771. Ask them about respite care, because why?
Got to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others.
That's exactly right. Scooter is nailing it right on the head, that if you're taking care of a loved one, it
can be a daunting task. Yeah. It can add up and it can pile up. And sometimes you don't realize the toll you're taking on yourself.
Yeah.
And you just need to kind of step away every now and then, let your batteries recharge.
That's exactly right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to do that. Take you a couple of days, recharge, relax, rest, and then you'll be better for it. All right. So we should hear a word from our sponsor and be back.
Be right back.
All right.
Hi, I'm Bob Zador of the Z-Team. I'd like to share something with you. Our team didn't need to reach everyone to be considered successful. We only needed the power of one. One person who was delighted with the way they were treated, helping them to reach their real estate goals. One person who told another person who told another, and so on. So if you're ready to buy or sell real estate, the Z-Team would like to be your one. Give us a call. 870-405-0793, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to the morning show, the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora, 20 years in the profession. I mean, you should see the reviews that they've got of how they've taken care of their customers start to finish. They don't just list and leave you. Linda is going to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed to get you to that closing date on time. Scooter said it before, there's people behind you, people in front of you. And it's a domino effect. If something goes wrong with your closing, then they're waiting, the next person's waiting. Everybody needs it to go smoothly, and that's what the Z-Team does.
Exactly, and sometimes there is dominoes effects that are going to affect your closing that happened before you, and you can't control some of that. But they're going to be on top of it and saying, all right, we're just going to move it to this date. We're going to do blah, blah, blah. We're still going through. They're just going to get rid of all the headaches.
Yes. They're going to take care of the mountain of paperwork that it means.
Yes.
And each lender has different specifications, for different loan types. And
they're going to explain that to you, because when you're selling a home and you get different offers from different people, they're going to break down what that actually means. Because some loans, you're going to have to do stuff as a seller.
Yeah.
Just for them to meet the criteria.
Yeah, inspections.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then others, you don't have to do so much. So they're going to walk you through, hey, this, and it may be that you decide to go with this one because of the type of loan, and you may not, be losing a couple dollars, but it's worth it because you don't have to do this and this and this, and you just have to know, what kind of loan is what, and they know they'll walk you through everything.
Exactly. Well said. Let's take a look at the White River, brought to you by the Z Team. Oh, beautiful view. Beautiful. Collar, Arkansas, the horseshoe bend of the White River. There's cameras on the back of their home in way of YouTube, but connected to their website at retiredarkansas.net. You can go check out this view 24/7. That's amazing, isn't it?
That is a beautiful, beautiful shot. I'm
going
to switch over to this one.
Yes.
Now you can see the Z clip starting that yellow haze, what we call the Z clips.
That is awesome. This is the camera that moves around to different areas of Collar. It also zooms into Scooter Mountain that's almost all the way in Missouri.
Yep.
Right? Or is it in Missouri?
It is in Missouri.
It is in Missouri. I mean, you can't tell now, but to the right is Mountain Home. To the left is Bull Shoals. About the center is Missouri, and it's incredible how far this camera will zoom into. But I love it. I love it. It goes to the train station, not like Yellowstone train station, but the actual train station.
It's on the City Hall right now.
Oh.
There's City Hall.
Yeah, wow.
It doesn't say there long before it zooms back out.
Yeah.
It goes to the bridge and backs out.
Goes to the Rainbow Bridge.
But there's about 10 or 12 shots on there, I think.
Yeah. And then are you doing some changes for the eclipse, or is that?
I don't know what we're going to do there yet. So we hadn't.
It's going to go dark.
Yeah, it's going to go dark, so you're not going to get shots of anything, really.
Yeah. Will it'll switch over? I mean, it's for 3 minutes, but will it switch over to the night vision?
It will.
And then,
I just don't know what all it's going to pick up.
Yeah.
I've never seen it,
Yeah, it's never been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very good. Bob and Isadora, the Z Team. Give them a call at 870-405-0793. Realtors you'd recommend a friend. Their website also contains the MLS listings, all of their listings, and a plethora of information about the Ozarks. They're very involved in events and programs in the area. They don't just sell real estate and go home. They get involved with the community, and they love this area like we do. If you want to know more, give them a call, 870-405-0793. Let's take a look at the weather, brought to you by the Z Team. Mountain Home at 34, Harrison at 37, Batesville at 41, Yellville at 30, Marshall at 37, Salem at 33, Mountain View at 37, Calico Rock at 34, West Plains, Missouri at 33, Springfield at 30. This is all Scooter's fault. Look at these 30s. Popular Bluff at 35 and St. Louis at 30. Dang it, Scooter. What's your prediction now for April? April's about to come up while they're looking at the radar.
April, there's going to be some cool nights, but it's not going to get down to like 30s again, I don't think.
We're going to be 50s, 40s, 50s?
We may hit some 40s.
All right, here we go. Scooter's prediction for April.
That's my prediction.
National Weather Radar. Look at the East Coast from Florida all the way to Canada.
Getting hammered.
Yeah, they are. That is crazy. You got some activity in Idaho and Nevada, parts of California, Utah, but it looks like the central part of America is looking pretty good. Chicago has some precipitation. Hey, did this thing just stop on me? It doesn't matter. We zoom into Arkansas and Missouri, and I believe for precipitation we're in the clear. Cloud cover, we'll see here in just a second. But, yeah, look at that. As the time rolls on.
Yeah, today's going to be a clear day.
Going to be pretty. Watches and warnings across Arkansas. It looks like still what is that light blue color? Frost advisory. So thank you, Scooter, for that frost advisory. Mm-hmm.
It's all my fault. Always my fault.
Now until 9 a.m., frost advisory. Let's see. And then sunny, high of 66. Tonight, clear, low of 43. Friday, sunny, high of 73. Friday night, partly cloudy, low of 52. Saturday, partly sunny, high of 78. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low of 57. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high of 78. Sunday night, mostly cloudy, low of 63. Weather. I know, right? Now, what makes it more partly sunny than partly cloudy?
You got me.
I mean, the amount of clouds that are in the sky. They measure the amount of clouds, and if there's a certain amount, it's more partly sunny than it is partly cloudy, right?
There you go.
Norfolk Lake water level is at 555.46. Level is 3.46 feet above full pool. They're shut down. But yesterday, did you see the picture? It was the day before that they had all the spillway gates, almost all of them. That was roaring.
And it may not be generating, but they're still releasing water.
Yeah, releasing water. And That day we were down there camping, they had one, and you could hear it. So imagine like 7 or 8 of them things going. Bull Shoals Lake water level is at 657.45. Level is 1.55 feet above full pool, and they're generating 3. That is a look at your weather, brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. Go to retiredarkansas.net where you can find their listings, the MLS listings. Give them a call at 870-405-0793. Realtors you'd recommend to a friend. We recommend them because they will take care of you. With that, let's take a short break for a word from our sponsor, Ozarks Farm and Lawn.
Be right back.
All right.
When the acres add up, so does the work. The Kubota LO2 Series is ready for it. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, it features powerful, dependable Kubota diesel engines, performance-matched attachments, and the versatility to get the job done right.
For all your Kubota needs, visit Ozarks Farm and Lawn in Mountain Home.
For all things glass.
Welcome to the morning show. We're back for community news brought to you by Ozarks Farm and Lawn, the dealership that deals, located at 4423 Highway 62 West in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Buddy, a sea of orange and blue, you can't miss them. They've got the tractors, they've got the RTVs.
Zero turns,
which, I mean, the
RTVs
are what you need if you have a little farm.
Yes, yes. They are Kubota's rugged terrain vehicles, and they've got little pickup beds on them, and they are working little vehicles.
Worth their weight.
They can pull anything. They can haul anything. They're just awesome to have on the farm.
Very cool. You can give them a call at 870-425-3434. Go to their website at ozarksfarmandlawn.com, but better yet, just go by and see them. They've got parts and service, anything that you're going to need for that tractor.
Whether you're looking for a new tractor or a new implement or attachment, they've got it. Or if you need your old tractor serviced, whatever, they can get you taken care of.
Excellent. In community news, we had the Pinkston Robotics team on the other day on Tuesday.
Did.
And on April 18th at the Shed, they're going to be having a bingo night and silent auction at 5:30 p.m. This is to help raise money for one of their trips. Worthy event, buddy. That was really cool with the little Lego robots that they do.
Oh, it's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. So go by the Shed, April 18th, 5:30 p.m. Enjoy some bingo. Do some silent auction. I love doing a silent auction.
Yeah.
Sitting there bidding back and forth. Go by and see that. That's going to be cool. The Second Amendment Legacy Foundation is having their 2024 fundraising banquet Friday, April 19th at 5:30 p.m. at the Baxter County Fairgrounds. If you need tickets, call Joanne at 870-424-3535 or talk to Bo at White River Firearms. They're located at 6135 Highway 126 North in Gassville, or you can give them a call at 870-402-9002. This is going to be fun and dinner and auctions, guns, raffles, and family coming together to support shooting sports and ensuring the survival of the Second Amendment traditions for generations to come. The Second Amendment Legacy Foundation is a grassroots effort fueled by passionate individuals who wish to secure the legacy of the Second Amendment. It is imperative that we encourage and support the next generation of voters in promotion of responsible and law-abiding firearms ownership. I totally agree with that.
And if you're wanting to go, you better give them a call pretty quick because I know they're running out of space.
Are they really?
They're about full. They're about full.
That's good to hear. Be quick. And we have Cast for Kids at McCabe Park, a fishing event for children with special needs. That'll be next month, April 27th.
Yes.
It's on a Saturday at McCabe Park, Jerry Baker Lane in Mountain Home, Arkansas from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pre-registration is required. Space is limited. Participants must be at least 6 years old, accessible for all disabilities. Parent or guardian must attend with a child. There's a free event lunch included, and the peer will receive fishing guidance and basic techniques. Fishing fun pack with a rod and reel, tackle box, t-shirt and hat, and a photo plaque. You can contact the event coordinator, Denver West, at 870-632-9499. You can email McCabe Park at castforkids.org.
And I believe Denver West is going to be on the 10th, April 10th.
Excellent. Very good. The Junior Bomber Football Camp. And let's see. It'll be current Mountain Home program 5th, 6th, and 7th grade students at the Bomber Stadium Wednesday, April 24th and Thursday, April 25th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Cost is none. Wear comfortable athletic clothing with football cleats or tennis shoes. Bring a water bottle. You can register. This darn bit.ly link. bit.ly/3WFV capital A H capital K. Or you can contact Steve Airy.
Steve Airy.
Airy. Yep. Always get his name wrong. At sairy@mhbombers.com. Junior Bomber Football Camp.
There you go.
Very good. Let's look at our community news brought to you by Ozarks Farm and Lawn, the dealership that deals. We've gone, wait, this is just normal.
Yeah, this is normal for you.
7:20, 7:21. Yeah. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Tyler Savage. He's with the Arkansas Game and Fish Private Lands Biologist.
Be right back.
All right.
For all things glass, contact the professionals at Clear Results Glass in Mountain Home. Whether you're needing a rock chip repair or a full windshield replacement, Clear Results Glass can take care of all of your automotive glass needs with fast turnarounds at competitive prices. They service business and residential customers and can custom cut any glass or provide you with the right fit for your home windows, sliding doors, commercial glass, or even a frameless shower enclosure. Contact Clear Results Glass today for a quote or to schedule your next glass project. That's Clear Results Glass, located in Mountain Home.
Your senior health care specialist is VACO Insurance in Mountain Home. Retired law enforcement and disabled veteran owner Frank VACO and staff can help you with all your insurance needs. VACO Insurance provides coverage for most carriers in the area, such as Medicare, Affordable Care Act, individual, or any other health or life insurance options. With over 13 years experience and agents in multiple areas and locations throughout northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, VACO Insurance is the right choice to handle all your insurance needs. That's VACO Insurance, located in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
All you've ever wanted was a place to write your story. You hear it's not the right time to buy or sell a house, but really, the best time is when it's right for you. The real estate markets, they change, they go up, they go down. One thing that doesn't change is where you want to be in your life. The professionals you team up with will make your story happen. The Z-Team are the professionals you need to hire for your next chapter. So call the Z-Team at 870-405-0793, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Visiting with Tyler Savage. He's with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. You are a private lands biologist, and it's the first time for us to meet.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been with Arkansas Game and Fish? And just kind of give us an overall history of yourself.
Yeah. So I've been with Game and Fish, I guess, for about 4 years now. I got my start in the fisheries division. I worked at the Spring River Fish Hatchery. A lot of people from this area definitely probably know it for the trout we provide for the White River and Norfolk rivers. I worked there for about 3 years, spent 6 months as a technician, and then about 2.5 of those years as the biologist there. And then I briefly had a stint in our fisheries management division here, District 2, out of the Mountain Home office. And then kind of late last year, this private lands position kind of came open, and it was just too good of an opportunity for me to pass up. Working with private landowners in Arkansas has kind of always been a passion of mine, so it was a really easy move and decision for me. I'm from the Mammoth Spring area, Fulton County. Anybody that's familiar with that,
beautiful area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely grew up outdoors. Big thanks to my dad and uncles and cousins and all for that. That kind of gave me a passion for the outdoors, whether that's hunting, fishing, conservation, anything in that realm. So it was pretty easy move for me when I graduated high school to want to continue to pursue that. So I went to Arkansas Tech and got a bachelor's in fisheries and wildlife sciences, which really helped kind of propel me into a career with Arkansas Game and Fish.
Most definitely, yeah. Well, and when you start out young, enjoying the outdoors, hunting, fishing, a lot of people, that's how they end up in your position, is they have a love for the environment. People come down on people that hunt, and kill the animals, but really you have such a love for it that you want to help it. Conservation, with prescribed burns, everything that we're going to be discussing here on the show. Yep. And so, are you married? You got kids?
I am. Yep. Yeah? Married my high school sweetheart, you could say. So we've been together for almost 10 years now. Married, I guess almost 4.
Yeah.
So,
very good.
Yep.
Better say hi.
Yeah.
We had some youngins on the show the other day, and we asked, anybody you want to say hi to? And they're like, I don't know. And we're like, better say hi to Mom. So,
well, Maddie said she was going to watch me driving to Jonesboro this morning, so we'll see if that actually happens. Don't get a flight again today, please.
Oh, yeah. No. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Very good. So you kind of got the best area, I think.
Oh, for sure.
And when the opening, like you said, when the opening became available, he jumped at the chance.
Yep.
I have a brother-in-law that he was in South Arkansas, and he does private lands management, and he's up in Missouri now, but South Arkansas just flat, and there's not, it's beautiful up here. Not that you don't like it down there, but
South Arkansas is not bad by any means, but it's got nothing on Fulton, Baxter, or Marion counties. It pales in comparison.
Yeah,
so.
he won the lottery.
Exactly.
Yeah, Scooter's son is looking to be Arkansas Game and Fish wildlife
there you
officer,
go.
right?
There you go.
And so, when Ted Z comes on, he's like, well, he might have to pay his dues and be in those area, and then maybe something will open up and he can get back into the Mountain Home area. So that'd be cool.
I think a lot of those officers all have the same story. They had to go to some way southeast county for a couple years, but I think they always move back home. So
that's right. Well, we've got a few videos, and we've got some PowerPoints, but you wanted to start with the history of fire in Arkansas.
Yeah. So when I was approached about doing this, we wanted to talk about prescribed fire, and so to me it's always good to kind of go back and kind of give some history on why we promote fire as a whole, and really what it boils down to is fire's natural. Fire belongs on the landscape, so really we're just kind of trying to recreate what Mother Nature has always been doing. And so if you want to pull up that map of Schoolcraft's route, a lot of folks have probably seen this before. I'm sure Ted's been on the program a few times. He's probably brought this up. But so Henry Schoolcraft was one of the first explorers to kind of come to pre-settlement Ozarks. And we kind of can gather a lot of what we know about this pre-settlement Ozarks from a lot of the writings of Schoolcraft. So you can see kind of on that checkered line there that Schoolcraft kind of came down out of Missouri, came down through Arkansas, really passed probably very close to where I live now in Mammoth Spring, kind of made some track south, went back up in Missouri, but essentially he covered a lot of what we consider the Ozarks nowadays. And, a lot of his writings talked about kind of what they experienced, the challenges of what they found, and And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this guy was a terrible explorer. He'd be like if us three went out and tried to explore pre-settlement Ozarks. He broke his leg, his horses died, he almost starved. So it's a wonder his writings are around. But one thing he wrote about a lot was kind of the inconveniences they saw. And you see this quote here, the difficulty of finding wood and water, both of which are indispensable.
Yeah.
So you think about now, a guy on horseback takes off riding from, we'll just say St. Louis to Marshall. Well, I don't know what you guys think, but all I can think about is, oh my gosh, the trees I'm going to have to dodge, and how terrible this is going to be to ride on horseback.
Sure.
And that's not something that you ever really hear him talk about all that much. You see the difficulty of finding wood. Can you imagine nowadays the difficulty of finding wood, in our part of the world? I mean, when you look out, there's just trees everywhere.
Yeah.
And so one of the big changes from then to now is the loss of fire on the landscape. And so pre-settlement, especially this part of the world, it was burning every 3 to 5 years. What we now would consider wildfire came through. And fire was just different back then. There wasn't all this fuel that there is now. And so when we say wildfire, we're not talking about these crown fires, killing trees, just destroying these big swaths of land as they come through. These are really low intensity fires.
Yeah.
But it was often enough that these young trees a lot of times were getting killed by fire. And so we had these really grassy and wildflower areas.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
They don't know that there wasn't many trees around, and it was more, like the flatlands over in Jonesboro, where you don't see a lot of trees.
Yep.
But what you're saying is because of that, the fires were quick to burn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of early explorer writings talk about watching fire and how it would come, say, right up to some turkeys or right up to some deer, and they would just almost out of inconvenience just kind of jump over it and move on. So that's how low intensity we're talking. It just something more of an inconvenience than a disaster, really.
And that's something. When you think of fire, you don't think it's just nonchalant.
Yeah, and a lot of people's perspective of fire now is what they see on the news in California. And
the big, huge, forest burning, and they can't keep it under control. Yeah.
Yep. And the reality is they just have such different fire weather conditions there than what we do here. And not to say that couldn't happen here. Certainly conditions exist. Fire can get really extreme like that, but it's just not the same. Those kind of conditions are very, very rare, and we have a lot higher humidity here, and fire's just so much more controllable, especially in the southeast where we're at.
Well, and the drier air, the drier heat that's over there,
Yep.
and if you're not land management, if you're not burning off excess that's on the ground, you can spark a wildfire that takes out a whole miles,
10,000 acres,
10,000
a day
acres,
or something,
and then creeps into a subdivision and takes out all the houses. But my brother bought some property in Clark Ridge, and because of this show, I was able to relay to him about proper burning. And then he's got some friends that own land, and they went out to his land and helped him burn.
Yep.
And it was, leaves this thick that's just been years and years and years of not being touched.
Yep.
And that's where you guys come in, is to help somebody with that.
Absolutely. We want to put as much fire on the ground as possible. So whether that's us coming out and help you directly, pointing you towards some contractors, finding some money for you to hire a contractor, we want to get as much fire on the ground as possible.
Yeah.
We brought up wildfires. It may be a good time to bring up that Smokey the Bear picture there.
Okay, I can do that. Let me switch over to him.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
So the Smokey the Bear campaign, this is one of the most successful ad campaigns ever done in the history of the world. It really started by the Forest Service, and with good intention of the idea of we want to stop wildfire.
Yeah.
But all people really understood from that was we want to stop fire. And so anytime that they saw fire, they just assumed fire's a bad thing on our wild areas. And so between, say, roads and everything else that we've done to suppress fire, and then changing the dynamic around fire, people have pretty well suppressed fire off of our landscape, and so we don't see the benefits of fire, you know, how it was historically.
Yeah, time to teach them.
Absolutely.
Time to teach them.
Yep.
About 7, what should we?
I was going to bring up this picture kind of showing some.
Yep. So something private lands biologists hear all the time is, well, the last 10 years, I just haven't seen the turkeys that I used to, but I don't know, nothing's changed. And I'm not saying people are wrong for thinking that, but if you pay attention, these 3 pictures here you can see are pictures of what used to be kind of an open forest, open woodland, and then as time progresses and fire has not been on that area, we see it go from that open area with a really grassy component to, in the 80s, kind of shrubby, maybe some grass here or there where there's some pockets of sunlight on the ground, and then again in 2001 it's almost completely shaded out. Hardly even any shrubs. It's all just closed canopy forest at this point. And the reason I like these 3 pictures, if we go back up to this 1966 photo, we can see those 2 big, what I believe to be pine trees kind of up front. And then when we move to 81, you can still kind of see them, especially that one on the left is pretty easy to see. But then by the time we progress to 2001, that farther tree back, you can just barely see it. If you didn't know it was there, you probably couldn't make it out. And that's just a really good indicator of how our landscape changes when fire isn't there.
Yeah.
And so in 1966, had that farmer or private landowner, whoever it was, kept fire on that, 1966, say they burn it again in 1968, none of those trees or shrubs would have ever really had a good chance to grow and to continue to put shade on the ground. And so we would have stayed in that really grassy area like we see in the top photo. And I mentioned turkeys. I kind of did that on purpose. Obviously, we have seen a decline in turkeys in the last 10 or 15 years, and it's because of the loss of habitat types like that. You think about a turkey hen making a nest. Mm-hmm. Well, there in 1966, there's a lot of grass and a lot of cover at ground level, so while she's sitting on that nest, she can be pretty hidden. But look at there at 2001, if you're a turkey hen and you're building your nest in that closed canopy forest, man, if you're sitting at ground level, a coyote or whatever could see you from 100 yards away. And so then you think about, well, maybe by some miracle, her nest isn't rated, say 5 or so of those eggs are able to hatch and make a turkey poult. Kind of the same thing if you look at that top picture. There's some good cover at ground level. There's places for them to hide. There's food available for them there. But then when you look at 2001, man, that's just leaves and shade on the ground. There's so little there for turkey broods. And so it's that loss of habitat that's really driving our decline in turkey numbers. Yeah,
you're right. The change in the natural landscape can cause the wildlife to leave the area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much so.
7:30.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Providing caring, compassionate services at an affordable price is our goal at Connor Family Funeral Home. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that treats our friends and neighbors just like family, with a wide range of services and options to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area. Connor Family addresses all the details with no hidden fees, so you can rest assured that you are treated like family for a more personalized and worry-free service. That's Connor Family Funeral Home, where compassion and affordability meet, located in Mountain Home.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. We're visiting with Tyler Savage, Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, talking about why it's good to burn. And he's right. It is good to burn. You should see the land in Clark Ridge of my brother's now of how clean it looks. And like those pictures you were just showing, it's like back to 1966 where you can actually see and walk through that forest. I guess cedars have taken over a lot of areas.
Absolutely.
And Ted Z or one of y'all was on, and there was an old boy that has 40 acres. He pretty much built a house with the cedars that he cut out of that place. And now the environment has changed so much. The wildlife is everywhere. It has come back to that area. And that's why you guys talk about this. That's why it's good to learn to burn. And you have these workshops that you do. There's also the landowner association that you can join and become a part of a group that help each other. That's what we need in this area. That's what you guys are pushing.
Absolutely. That's a great time to bring up prescribed burn associations. I think there may have been a picture of the PBA maps. I'm not sure. I may not have included one. Prescribed burn associations, man, these are such.
Is this it?
No, I may not have included one. That's okay. Prescribed burn associations, these are such great organizations or groups that Game and Fish is really trying to help and promote the last 4 or 5 years. We kind of consider it grassroots, and it really is, because it's really neighbors helping neighbors, friends helping friends. And
not to interrupt, I've got some pictures you can on Facebook. If you can go over to my computer, it looks like they were doing a burn. There we go. I'll just scroll through there while you're talking.
So that burn there was probably several folks that are listening now have seen that burn. That was just north of the First Service Bank in Flippin. So just a quick background on that burn. The airport board had to cut a bunch of trees off of there for their landing right there at the Flippin airport. And so the master naturalist got involved, and they didn't want to see it go to fescue, Bermuda, kind of our introduced cool season grasses. And so they said, hey, let us take care of that, and we're gonna plant this in natives and try to have a wildflower area.
Yeah.
And that's great. I'm really glad they had the initiative and drive to do that. But so that burn there, we burned it once, and then have sprayed the invasives twice, and then we went back again and tried to burn it again. It was a successful burn because it was safe, and we pretty well met the objectives of the burn. Maybe didn't burn as great as we would have liked, but that's fine. It gave us a good chance to plant some native seed there, so I'm excited for what we're going to see there moving forward. But back to the prescribed burn associations. Right now, these PBAs are kind of covering 2, 3, sometimes 4 counties at a time, but we'd like to see it where there's so much need for that in the future that these PBAs cover at most 2 counties, and really would be better just 1 county for each PBA. But you might be asking, well, what's the benefit of that? And so a lot of people, especially in our area, there's still a good fire culture around, but in the past where all these folks had neighbors that would help them burn, maybe that's not so much of an option anymore. And so where these PBAs are really beneficial is you could see that big group of folks that came out and helped burn. That's probably 7 or 8 people right there. So there's definitely the manpower needed for a burn with these PBAs, and then Game and Fish tries to kind of help fund them, and definitely with the help of Quail Forever as well. Give them a shout out for what they've done for PBAs, but provide them with a trailer that's just chock full of equipment ready to go for a burn. All the hand tools you might need: backpack blowers, chainsaws, radios, fire clothing, drip torches. It's basically a ready-made rolling fire unit, those trailers we give them. So there's lots of equipment there as well. So these PBAs are a great opportunity for landowners to get burning done on their property.
Yeah, you can go to the Arkansas Game and Fish website and find these events or these classes that you can go to.
Yep.
And then once you've done it, you connect with these landowners. You guys come together, you bring that trailer out, everybody helps each other, and then, of course, when it's the next person's turn, you help them.
Yep.
You know, it's yeah. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Exactly.
Or burn your land down. No.
Yeah. And it's cheap, for a contractor to come out and burn that. We're talking, could be $50 an acre, where these PBAs dues are typically like $20, $25 a year. And you go help one time and then you get them out on your place. So, man, that's so cheap. $25 and a Saturday of your time. You can't beat that.
No, we have a video that we were going to show.
You want to do that now or after the final break?
Do you want to do the final break and then?
Yeah, we can do the final break and then come back and show part of the video. We'll go ahead and get the break out of the way.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Even on the most perfect day, the unexpected can happen. But with just one call to their local Red Ribbon expert at Overhead Door, they can get their garage door fixed or replaced in a jiffy.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home. Experience the best in Mexican dining. Letty's in Gassville, voted numerous times as the best Mexican restaurant in the Twin Lakes area. Come out for delicious breakfast served all day, or enjoy an authentic Mexican lunch or dinner. $1.49 tacos on Thursday, 10% discount for seniors every day. No time? Call Letty's and have your to-go order waiting for you. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties, weddings, holidays, or big events. The best Mexican restaurant in the Twin Lakes area. Letty's in Gassville.
Well, folks, have you ever been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should call the Z-Team.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Visiting with Tyler Savage, Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. He is a private lands biologist, talking about burning your land to bring back the wildlife. This undergrowth can get really bad, and then they're going to move on because they can't even find grass to eat or nuts on the ground. There's too many leaves. So, but we've got some video that we can roll through, and you can tell us a little bit about it.
Yep.
Prescribed fire and wildlife habitat.
So while that's kind of loading up, prescribed fire and wildlife habitat, those just go hand in hand. So the guy you see here is Clint Johnson. Used to be in my position just a little farther south, Heber Springs area. He's a quail coordinator now. He was putting in a disc line fire break there. So we can kind of use this time to talk about maybe how to do a prescribed burn on your property.
Yeah.
And man, the three things that really determine the success of a burn is the fuel conditions, your weather, and your fire breaks. And so, like Clint was doing right there in that tractor, pulling that disc, turning up some dirt, you've got to have something to stop fire, because even though you might like fire, your neighbors probably aren't going to be so happy when it gets over on their property.
Yeah.
Especially when it's coming towards their house or barn or hayfield or whatever. So
you don't want to scare them.
Exactly. Yep.
So get you a barrier. My brother, when he was doing his, it was the dirt road that cuts through his property. He used that as the barrier.
We try to use kind of quote unquote natural fire breaks as much as we can. So like a road, just like you said, or maybe a creek somewhere. Especially our part of the world, a bluff line, you can find those sometimes to use as fire breaks. But sometimes folks have to put in fire breaks to use prescribed fire, and so sometimes that can be costly. So if putting fire on your land and putting in fire breaks is something you're interested in, get with one of us, and we can find a program for you somewhere to help cut down the cost of putting in fire breaks for sure. We really think about 3 different types of fire breaks. So a big dozer line, and that's fine. Those make great fire breaks, but sometimes people don't want something quite that invasive on their property, and hey, I get that. Disc lines like Clint was putting in are great, especially when you're burning a field or something. Our part of the world, lots of rocks, a lot of shallow soil, so sometimes disc lines can be tough. And then oftentimes, especially burning timber, we'll just put in what we call a hand line or a backpack line, and that's just taking a leaf blower and blowing the leaves out down to bare soil, kind of cutting out maybe some limbs or whatever that might be in the way. And man, you can put in a lot of fire break really quick nowadays.
That's how they did the backside. He got the road on one side. Well, he had road on 2 sides, and then on the other side, he had taken a leaf blower, and he had done probably a 15-foot span just to make sure, and blew it into the area that he was going to burn. And then they couldn't, well, no wind. You want to do it, hopefully when wind is low, but to keep it from jumping. That see, when it gets fiery like that, that's when people get scared. But it just, if you control it, you're going to be fine.
And oftentimes that first fire somebody does on their property is the most intense fire they'll ever have, and that's just because their property hasn't seen fire in probably 10, 20, 30 years, and so there's tons of fuel. Like you mentioned on your brother's place, almost a foot deep of leaf litter out there. And so we'll come in, get it burnt that one time, wait a couple years and burn it again, and man, there's not even half the fuel that was out there to start with. So that second fire, a lot of times it's just going to creep and hopefully be boring. Really.
And it was intense when we were doing my brother's. I wish I wonder if I could find it. It was a reel I did of the fire that, let's see, videos. I don't know what it would be under. Maybe we need to show that. But look at the quail out there. See, they need the natural habitat to be running around.
Quail are firebirds, so we briefly pulled it up earlier. We don't have to look at that map again, but we see the historic fire map, how often fire was on the landscape across the U.S., and what you see is the areas that were burnt really frequently are the natural range of the bobwhite quail, and I love that image of how perfectly those two overlay, and it really shows that quail, and I'll even go far to say turkey, are both firebirds. They have to have fire in their habitats, otherwise they're just not going to be successful, kind of like what we're seeing nowadays.
Well, I've got that pulled up, Scooter. This was at his property, and it looks intense, but I'm on the road here, the main road, and then to the left was another road, and then, like I said, back behind, he had gathered it up. You can see, well, it's kind of hard, but that trail right there, there's a trail there that we walked, and he had pushed all the leaves. But you're right, that first burn was intense. And
that looks really extreme right there, but I mean, tell them how close you were to that. We're talking what?
I was feet away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Standing less than 10 feet away and are able to get your phone out and take video of it.
Yeah.
I mean, even as extreme as that looks, it's really pretty calm, and it's blowing away from your fire breaks there. So, hey, that's ideal.
It was, because, I mean, when we first started it, you can see that the fire looks like it's really windy, and there was gusts, but it made it look intense, and that's what I was focusing the most on, was the most intense part of the fire. But most of it was just low lying, and once it got to the road, it was done. It got burned out, so just pretty neat.
Another important aspect, if you're going to do fire on your property, is the necessity of a burn plan. So a lot of times guys will go out there and just drop some matches and hope it burns, and if it burns, great, and if it doesn't, oh well, we tried. And that we don't want that so much. We want fires to be planned and calculated and really successful. So having a burn plan in place is really important. It's really a way to kind of, I say, put your ducks in a row. It gives you an idea of what kind of weather you're looking like day of burn. How much wind do you want? What direction do you want the wind out of? What's the humidity going to be? What's the temperature going to be? How much is your smoke going to rise? And so it gives you a really easy document to look at and know that yes, we meet the weather that we're looking for. It's also a good time to get down important contact information. So all your neighbors, you definitely want to contact them, let them know that you're going to do a burn. Your local fire department, your county sheriff, the Arkansas Forestry Commission, all good people to alert, just so nobody kind of rings the bell, so to speak.
And you see fire trucks rolling up the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're like, you never told us.
It's a good time to put down on paper what kind of equipment you need, how many backpack blowers, how many drip torches, how many people in general we're going to need. So I always tell people that a burn plan is probably the most important pre-burn aspect of a fire. And a burn plan doesn't have to be something real in-depth or hard to write or anything. Most burn plans, 99% of them are transferable. One timber burn's not all that different from the next, or one field burn's not all that different from the next. So if you have questions on writing burn plans or what you need to do, get in contact with a private lands biologist, and we can't write you a burn plan, but we can definitely walk you through it and give you all the technical advice you might need to get one wrote.
Sure. Well, and if you've got a large acreage of land, you guys have programs that provide financial and technical support.
Yep. So I think when Ted was here last time, he probably hit on CIP, Conservation Incentive Program, a little bit, and that's just a state-run program, kind of new this year, new funding, and it's a really good opportunity for folks that maybe don't have the ability to do fire on their own, or they don't have the equipment or the help or whatever it might be to get a burn done. And so they look to a contractor, and hey, that's fine. Like I said earlier, those contractors can be expensive. So we want to be able to help people kind of offset the cost of doing that a little bit. So if doing a fire is something you're interested in, or you need some fire breaks before you're comfortable doing fire, be sure to get with one of us, and we can point you to CIP, Conservation Incentive Program, and get some of that stuff funded. There's also USDA NRCS programs that are available. Everybody's probably familiar, at least on the ag side, with what NRCS can help provide on their farms. Well, for everything they do ag related, there's a wildlife practice for it too. So but especially bigger farms, EQIP, or that's the program that NRCS runs, is a really good opportunity for folks to get a lot of fire done. And like I said, if that's something you're interested in, get with a Quail Forever biologist or a private lands biologist in your area, and we'd be more than happy to come out, kind of show you what our thoughts are on your property, see maybe what needs fire first, how to implement fire, that kind of thing, and then towards the end we can point you to those programs and find some money for you somewhere.
Very good. And that's what the Arkansas Game and Fish is all about. That's why you've been around for, 90 years?
Over 100 years now.
Over 100 years now. So, and you can go to agfc.com, where you can find workshops to teach landowners how to burn their way to be better habitat. You scroll down, which February, March is the time to burn, right?
That's when a lot of people think about burning, but that's certainly not our only window to burn.
Okay. So you can see, because it's past, but introduction to prescribed fire for landowners, that was February 27th, 23rd, some stuff that went on in March. But you guys do have YouTube videos.
Yep.
Arkansas Game and Fish YouTube videos. I sent those to my brother when he was also, going to do his land, and he watched those videos to get the ideas and tips. And then, like I said, he's got friends that got land out in Promised Land in Oakland, and they've done it many, many times. So they all got together and showed him what to do, and he worked really hard on it for a couple of weekends just to get it ready to burn.
For sure,
you know. So very good.
It takes as long to burn 5 acres as it does 50, just because of the prep work. Most of the work in a fire is the prep work before the burn. So
just to be safe.
Yep.
Very good. Well, we got maybe 30 seconds left, about a minute left. Final thoughts.
might be a good time, real quick. I won't get into the specifics of it, but some new burn legislation kind of came out this year, and so instead of teaching those learn to burn classes like we saw, we're going to kind of move towards teaching what's called a certified prescribed burner. For anybody that has taken Learn to Burn 1 and 2, we're kind of mushing those classes together, throwing a live fire portion to it. And so that's something that we're hoping to start teaching those maybe mid-April, maybe late April, sometime in there. So look for those. Definitely go to that Private Lands Facebook page, and we'll keep everybody posted on that kind of stuff.
Very good. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. It's been a great time.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have you back, and you all have a great day. Scooter says it's going to be beautiful.
It is.
We're going to Burn here in about an hour, so
awesome.
get with the program.
Yeah, very nice. Y'all have a great day.